whispered in my ear, this is war. As she put my phone on record, said this is for you and all the guys before. She said you're the psychological, symbolical representation of my dad. Whoa, 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 whoa. This is worse than Amber Heard dropping a turd in Johnny Depp's bed. I don't need this low-key Chris Brown on Rihanna, Angelina Jolie from Girl Interrupted Drama.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the greatest, the most powerful podcast on the planet, dude. The Anti-George Carlin podcast, and I'm so stoked. I'm testing out this sound equipment to see how it sounds on the pod, dude. This is like the most expensive equipment I bought ever in my life. It's a great, and these are brand new. Look at this. This is a clip-in microphone stand because I'm 6'4", right? And I bring up like a shorter. I'm not sure how familiar people are with stand-up comedy, but it's just annoying constantly manipulating the stand when you go from a really tall person to a short person. So anyways, these clip-ins are the bee's knees, YouTube. So to start us off, do you want to play a little silly song, see how it sounds on the podcast, ladies and gentlemen. And I like Adam Sandler, for instance, and he has so many silly songs when you go and see him live. So I'll start us off, dude. I just played Good Riddance by Green Day for no reason. Well, I've been jerking off for a while just like this. Stepsister and tranny magic porn, what the hell is this? It must be all the alcohol, it's just hard to come. Fuck it, I'll just go to the rub and tie. Come on, dude. Sounds so good, dude. And, yo, whenever, this is true, the faces that you see when people are doing guitar solos are so unnecessary. So unnecessary. You'll see people go. That's so... It's so unnecessary. You can just do it normal. You don't have to. You can. I don't know if like they had to take a dump the first time on stage, and it just weird trends and fads superficially get started, and that may be the first. Like he really had to take a dump. He's like, oh, dude, I get off stage, oh, and then. Someone in the 50s and 60s was like, oh, dude, that's real cool, dude, the faces he's making. So, all right, let me come and host the most epic pod from a seat like a normal person. So, one sec. Oh. The greatest sound equipment. I'm so stoked. Check this out. This is how low budget. Low budget, man. These comedy shows are. I have a handwritten sign for the drinks we're selling. So, anyways, I don't know if I'm gonna be breaking out the mandolin, but this is kind of embarrassing. But a little bit about myself. I started playing mandolin because of a song by Steve Earle called "Copperhead Road." This song is incredible, though. And it's just one chord, the whole song, D. And a D and a chopper in the air. Woke up screaming like I'm back over there. I learned something from old Charlie, don't you know? You better stay away from Copperhead Road. Oh, come on, dude. That is such a freaking good song. If you have never heard of Copperhead Road, you gotta check out that tune, man. It's so good. It's one of my favorite songs. My dad used to play that song in his truck. And I'm so fortunate, by the way. I have the most badass dad. I'm so lucky. I have the most badass dad in the world. So if you have good parents, shout them out. I know it's hard if you have like a tough dad to be like, hey man, like, you know, I'm happy you're my dad. Like if you say something so simple like that, they'll get like, oh dude. Like I've never seen my dad cry ever. Even when my older brother, R.I.P. to my older brother Dave, I didn't even see my dad. He's the most stoic human being on the planet. He's definitely my hero. And to give a quick comparison too, because I had a stepdad growing up, and the only reason I'm mentioning this is because like if these experiences happen to me, I'm sure they happen to other people. And to openly communicate and talk about this stuff and be honest about having a step parent or whatever is perfectly reasonable and actually the responsible thing to do, and bring it to the light. That's why you have family, so you can openly talk about stuff that's maybe uncomfortable. And you know, my older brother got really bad like abuse from my stepdad. He would lock us out of the house. He would lock my brother in a room for like a week when we were kids. My dad found out and was pissed, dude. And my dad's like a real man. Like he hunts, he fishes. You know, he could like from like the laying the foundation and masonry work, he can do that, to rough carpentry, to framing the house, to plumbing, to the electrical, to the roof. He can do it all. Like he's a real man. He doesn't bring when he goes hunting, he doesn't bring his deer or whatever. He doesn't bring animals to the butcher. He does it himself. Like he is a real man. Agriculture. He knows how to do everything. And he's one of the strong. He's old now. He's like in his 60s. But when I was growing up, he was like the strongest dude I knew. His fingers were like insane looking, dude. They're like they look like sausages, dude. His hands were so big from working like real man work. And the only reason I bring this up is because my stepdad's like this soy boy vegan character, and it was like how like so. For instance. My stepdad would call the cops on me and my older brother, and I was like 11 and my older brother was like 13, right? This is a great story, actually. So why an adult would do that, I have no clue. He was obsessed with sending me to juvie or sending me to a different school just so he didn't take responsibility, because I have a little brother who's way younger. He's like 10 years younger than me. And when he was born, my stepdad wanted nothing to do with me and my older brother, and he would make up stuff. And lo and behold, I found all this out like last year, that he was going behind my back and trying to tarnish my reputation to blood relations, which isn't going to work, number one. But number two, it's like, what? Just talk to me directly. But he's such a sissy, soy boy avoidant person. My stepdad talks to my mom, and still to this day, this is how it works. Then my mom talks to other people in the family. He does not talk to anyone directly. Why? I have no idea. It's the most disrespectful thing to do to my mom, to make her do all your communication. It's completely insane. So here's the story. He would call the cops on us all the time. The worst time, and this is a story that my dad he's such a hero. He's such a badass. So the cops get called, and I hated when my stepdad would say, "'Cause I said so." So he calls the cops and said, "I'm disrespecting my mom. I'm 11 years old, mind you." The cops get there, and he's saying all this stuff to the cops, and they talk to me, and I go, "Well, fuck any argument from authority. What do you mean I'm disrespect? By evidence of what?" And then the other thing I said was like, "Fuck your brand. Why are you constantly labeling me? Like, what are you doing?" So I wanted answers, and he goes, "'Cause I said so, and I'm the adult of this house." That was his rationale. He has mashed potato brains, right? So meanwhile, while I'm arguing with the police in this small town in Bushkill Township, Pennsylvania, my brother's hiding in the woods, and my mom's like calls my dad. Then we can't find Dave, and you gotta get down here. So my dad gets down there, right? And when my dad gets out of the truck, my stepdad's face was just like, oh, like pure fear. It's like when like a dog at a dog park sees like a half wolf dog. They just instantly know like where they are in the hierarchy. They're just like, oh, dude, this is not good. And my dad instantly is like, what are you cops doing? You're coming to an 11 and a 13-year-old? You're coming and responding to this call? Do you have nothing better to do? The cops are instantly shamed. And then he looks at my stepdad. He's like, if you keep calling the cops, I'll give you something to actually call the cops about. Speechless. My stepdad's just like, oh, like, what did I do, dude? I'm an idiot, dude. Why did I call cops on children? True story. My dad was the man. He goes, come on. He's like, we're going to get your brother. So we pick up my brother in the woods and we split, dude. True story. So the only reason I'm mentioning this stuff is if there is, kids out there with step-parents and you don't feel safe in your own home, for sure, communicate that, preferably the people outside your household. But yeah, man, family's the most important thing to me. And I love my family. At that time period, my brother just tested extremely high in some gifted program. So he's very smart. He's a very smart IQ. And later on, I realized that abstract thinking, which I score in the 99th percentile in, can be picked up environmentally. And I picked that up just from my older brother, for just being around him growing up. And my brother kind of raised me in a way. And he passed away January 18th, 2016. RIP. But shouldn't we look into that? If we can improve people's abstract thinking IQ just by being around intelligent people, shouldn't we look into that? That's not a hereditary, that's not a genetic component that anyone can pick up this abstract thinking piece. That's brilliant. That's amazing. That blew me away. I'm smarter just because I was around someone smart growing up. Such a interesting podcast today because I wanted to test out that sound equipment. We'll see how it sounds. And we have a show coming up. I'm so freaking pumped, dude. I'm so pumped for this show tonight. And I'm gonna be live streaming it. So check it out. 7:30 Eastern time zone. Show starts at 7:30, so check out that live stream tonight. Such an amazing lineup. Some of the greatest comics in the Lehigh Valley here tonight on the Ross of Nazareth YouTube channel. So check it out. The most powerful podcast on the planet, dude. And we're doing it old school style, dude. Live stream. A live stream, dude, of a great comedy show. So check us out tonight. All right. Peace out, Girl Scouts.